Welcome again to another rendition of WTF Interviews. My name is Sir Royce Briales, and I'm with my prestigious co-host, Dr. Raheem Young. What's up, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Doing well as well, man. Over here with the kids, man. We having a good time over here. Homeschooling today.
All right.
I'm also pleased to announce we have a special guest, Joshua Pondexter. How's it going?
Wonderful, man. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to, chime in on this topic of father and fatherhood.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks for jumping
Thanks
on
for joining us.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
So if you can introduce yourself to the people, Joshua, what do you do for a living or for a purpose? And also, how many kids do you got and what are their ages?
Cool. Well, I work in the area of financial advising. I've been doing that for 3 decades and was really interested. We started part-time. I worked professionally as an engineer for about 26 years, and concurrently, I was always selling life insurance, health insurance, financial products. So we did, and then we just transitioned maybe in 2002 to a full-time entrepreneur, right? So I'm I'm an entrepreneur. I am the original side hustler. I had a side hustle since 1986, right? So that's what we did. And then I have been a father of 3 sons. My oldest son had him when I was 30, right? So he will be 30 this March, and have what they call an Irish twin, his brother, 29, and they sometimes during the year they're the same age, right? My first son, Joshua, my second son, Matthew, and then I have a younger son that's 20, right? So that's my one out of due season. And then blessed to say that I'm a grandfather of 3 sons. My 6-year-old grandson, which is my heir to my business. We already identified him. Then we have a 2-year-old. We don't know what that boy gonna do, but he's a beast. And then we have the baby that's I think about 5 months. So those are my 3 grandsons. 3 sons, 3 grandsons at the moment. The only one that has contributed is the oldest son. So he has 3 boys, and the other 2 have not had children as of yet. They still rocking out, enjoying life. And did you ask me to give fathers some advice at this point? What I would give to a father?
Not yet. We're gonna leave that towards the end.
Cool. I maybe that was when we were talking offline, but I got some advice.
Good.
Yeah. That's me, brother. JoshuaPondexter.com. We're all about financial literacy, educating our people specifically how to win this money game.
So Joshua, can you talk about the things you've learned from being a dad to being a granddad? How has that responsibility changed for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks. That's a great question, Dr. Young. And so I was a father. My first son, as I stated, I had him when I was 30, and it profoundly impacted my life to, wow, now it's time to stop playing and get serious. I'm responsible for someone else. So it was a shift. That was the first significant shift. And I had a second son, third son. And then when I became a grandfather, the pressure, that pressure was not, there was a different type of pressure to be a statesman. I felt more elderly. I felt more regal. I felt that I should set a legacy, a better example. You see what I mean? So it shifted. As a father, it shifted that day-to-day grind, providing. Now it shifted to, okay, now I got to think about grandchildren and leaving something for them. So that was the shift.
Okay.
And I love it. And so I'm 60-year-old. I know I look as young as Sir Royce, but but hey, it makes you feel more stately than a grandfather. It makes you feel like, hey, I am walking in integrity. I want to present myself like as a man to be respected, but it's a respect level in the community that grandfathers should hold. And with my grandchildren, they love me.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So speak to your fatherhood experience. So when you first became a dad, you pretty much had kids back to back. It seems like so. What was the biggest difference from the first one to the second one in regards to how you were as a father at that time?
I appreciate that. And we're coming from an environment where I had no thoughts that I would ever be a father, that I would ever be married, had no ambitions in that regards, right? So bam, the first one was like, that's it, I'm good, right? And so then the second one come, and Matthew, which is Matthias in the Greek, gift of God, or I named him thus, it was a gift from God. And so now it's like, wow, God wants me to do more, right? Wants me to be more. So that's how I began the shift. Well, that's the first one. The second one, now it's like, wow, it's more required of you, right? And then the third one came, which was a blessing, because all that learning to be a father, to be a parent, to be a disciplinary, to be a guy, to, all that kind of accumulated. And then when I got to the third one, I hope I was a little better. The first two, it was do what I say, when I say do it, and how I say do it, right? Very, like this. And then that third one came along, he was like, I ain't do anything to you. Why are you talking to me like that? You know what I'm saying? So it was a shift in reality where it's like, oh, I need to adjust myself and not let a 4 or 5 year old outsmart me. So those were the shifts. Of course, having multiple children, you see multiple personalities, and you can't, treat all of them the same. You got to become better. You got to become a better communicator. You have to, I think one of the things that we miss is not being expressive in love, loving your sons, kissing them. You see what I'm saying? Those are important, so they realize that masculine affection is okay. You know what I'm saying? That it's okay to consequently love your friends, love your schoolmates. It's good to have those strong connections with other men, right?
Yeah.
So this is how that kind of instructed me in fatherhood, going from 1 to 2 to 3 children, right? So that's what I would say to that. Okay, another question?
So your oldest son, he's named after you. His name is Joshua.
Yes.
Your second son's name is Matthew.
Yes.
What's your third son's name?
Jeremiah.
Okay.
Jeremiah.
So
the Hebrew names, or from the Hebrew perspective, Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. So he did, most people will take on the nature of their name. He's a very compassionate man, very, loving, and so we appreciate that, giving him a name, telling him what his name means, and then having them strive to be that type of personality.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that when you were saying your son's names, and I know that you work in finance.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
what role does God play in our finances?
Well, the prophet Isaiah said that God maketh the poor and the rich. So if you have a problem with your financial situation, talk to your creator about it, right? That's from a spiritual perspective, but from a practical perspective, how the God works in our finance, the psalmist said that he is the one that has given us the ability to earn. right? So we need to find out what our ability is and utilize that ability to make honest money, right? And so there's a whole balancing act. So if you're one that believes in contributing to your local church or temple or mosque or whatever, bam, that's developing the characteristics of God, right? Giving, right? And it will be given unto you. It's a principle. So he plays a dynamic part in our financing, and especially as a financial advisor. The Bible tells me to present all things honest unto all men, right? So I must be honest in my endeavors, right? There's complicated financial products, right? And so if I have a client that, no, this is a little bit above your head, you can't understand these swaps and short and stocks and things. No, we don't need to even invite this to your attention. There's other ways for you to build wealth, right? Instead of me being a trickster and just selling you some so I can make money, right? So it informs my business, my life, everything. Yeah. My faith.
What did you? How did you teach your sons about money? Like with them growing up, like what type of lessons did you teach them?
Oh, great question. And so in the two oldest ones, of course, when I was working a corporate job, and I was working part-time, right? So they didn't get a lot of opportunities to see me out, demonstrating in the community until they got older. And I left corporate America, but they would come to me, because I do workshops, I do financial workshops, been doing it for over 20 years. I get, 50, 80, 100, 200 people together. I feed them and I do a workshop. And my sons will be with me, handing out literature, passing out the food, you know what I'm saying? So they were able to learn from me teaching from the stage, right? And that was very, very, very helpful. It's just like sending your child to formal education, and you go like, wow, you learn, you're in the 6th grade, 7th grade, and you're learning about transistors and electronic components. I had to pay for that information in college, and you're appreciative of the teacher. So now, just the formal education of them hearing me train was good. And then the other thing was seeing my lifestyle, right? That number one, no Gucci, no Prada, none of that foolishness. When it's talking about, Dad, I want some Jordan. I said, yeah, I want you to have some Jordan too, but Daddy got, he has a $100 limit on how much he will pay for gym shoes. I want these jeans. Well, I want you to have those jeans too, but I have a limit that I don't pay no more than $25 for a pair of jeans, right? So how do you think you're gonna get those things? Well, I gotta go make me some money, right? So it's more of the example, more of like, you have to earn your way, right? I have limits. I'm not buying $200 sweatshirts, right? I'm not buying $300 gym shoes. That's no. I don't even, $100, $120 pair of dress shoes work just fine for me, right? So that's more of the example. And then when they come with their stuff, their needs, right? And was able to have them do some work, snow removal, to earn them money to buy their video game. So they learn to earn, right? And it's very difficult in this modern world to teach. I'm from Arkansas, Texas, Arkansas, country boy. And so it was always grass to cuts, always work to do to earn some money. Kind of difficult for the child in the modern world to kind of navigate that. But we try to teach them that you got to earn your money. And then when it comes to how much money daddy make. No, he don't spend it like that. Okay.
What did your parents teach you about like finances and money and stuff?
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Wonderful question. I was raised by a single mother, right? And then I had a father that, because I grew up in Arkansas and in Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I had a father who worked in the steel mills, and his thing was that, so he worked in the steel mill, and then he had nightclubs and barbecue joints. So he was sort of a businessman himself. So this was a lifestyle of seeing a father making all this money and then having a mother who was frugal, right? And so my mother told me something, and I'm still working on it today. She said, boy, if you save some money when you don't have no money, you will never ever need money. I'm still chewing on that, doctor. You know what I'm saying? I figure it out. I'm gonna write, that's gonna be my thesis.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. So that was my mom. Then there was my dad, was like, hey, money was no option. You know what I'm saying? It was whatever you want, we got, because we got plenty of money. But that's when he was able to be young and healthy and earning. And then when I saw that he lost his health, right? Was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer, spread it out through all his body. And I saw it, medical issues, bankrupt. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was some lessons to learn, right? My mom, when she died, it was a different story. She told me, she said, yeah, she said, I don't understand your sister. She's always asking me for money. And, I ain't never made as much money as she's made, and I never asked nobody for no money. So, yeah, it's more, our teaching is more in our actions, right? Now, it's if you have a wife that can teach your children the simple things of like how to select a checking account with not high interest, how to select products, and so that's another part of financial literacy, right? But the biggest teaching comes with your activity, right? Not staying at home, not trying to make the restaurant man wealthy, right? Cooking at home, taking your lunch to work when you can. These type of things you see in your family, right? Even, and I work for myself, and I always left home with some snacks, right? Because as a financial advisor, it's customary for me to I might take my clients to lunch. I might have 3 or 4 lunches a day, breakfast and lunch, right? But it's all for business purposes. I'm not doing all that eating. So that's what I would say with the teaching is that like the Bible said, let your life be a living epistle. When they look at you, they can read how you get down. And then of course, coming of age, and my sons know that even though we were tight, I'm tight, that they know, and they have said out there on my daddy will give me his last. Yeah. Before he feed himself, he will feed me, right? They know this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So talk about your background a little bit. So how do you think being an engineer has helped you as a financial strategist?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's technical. It's a lot of the products and services that these financial institutions sell, they're technical products, right? The bank has technical products. The investment banks, the life insurance company has technical products, and these products they are designed first to enrich the pockets of the people that sell them, right? The banker, the investment banker. So the life insurance company, their products are designed to enrich them first, and then it's designed to enrich the person that sells them, right? So the salespeople that sell these products, they make money, right? Now, now number 3 is the client. right? And so since these products are technical and it's easy to sell the benefits of them, what I would say that, hey, when I sell a product, it must be good for the company. You must be a good client for the company, right? That the product is beneficial for the client and that it's beneficial for me, that we all three must win. So I've been able to analyze products and look at them. And so, you know, being an analytical person, I'm one of the few people when I used to sell mutual funds that ever read prospectus. Little old, it's like 40 pages of little old bitty tiny writing, right? And I would sit there and I would read that and I go like, this is kind of complex. The average person won't understand these things, right? And so will I sell this to the average person? No, you know, because it's too, if it's too complex, trust me, it's not for you. It is not benefiting you. All that writing is the benefit the person that sold those products. So that's one of the things that have helped me been trained technically, is to look at very complex things and make them simple for my client. Do or don't. This is good for you. This is not. Okay.
Okay. I know, like when you were talking about your parents, you said that you were raised by a single mom.
Yeah.
And you talked about like how your dad's lifestyle a little bit. Can you talk about your relationship with your father?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you know, my father was hey, he was a go-getter, you know, and he was getting them. And so, you know, he blew through town, his hometown, and so my mom, they got together and that happened. And so he didn't really find out about me until maybe I was like 4 or 5, right? And so consequently, his sister, who was still in the hometown, his mom, you know, they went by and did that visual DNA and go like, yeah, that's
his baby.
yeah, that's his boy. So they said, well, yeah, that's his boy. I'm in Texarkana, Arkansas, and it's still expensive to fly from that little hub anywhere out, right? Because you got to go to Dallas and you got to go Little Rock or other major cities to get out of there. And so before, when I was 5, this was saying how much money my father had. He paid for me to fly from Texarkana to Fort Wayne, Indiana, right? What was that? I'm 60 now. What was that? 50 some years ago, right? Yeah. And so that's when I connected with my father, right? So we started connecting, and then before, and I would say,
Joshua,
yeah.
Before you said that was 50 something years ago, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What airline did you fly out of?
Yeah,
it wasn't no Spirit.
Right, it wasn't no Spirit. And probably the only one was around with either American or United or something. There's quite a few airlines that are gone now. I don't remember what they were. And so consequently, what, you know, fast forwarding, as I got older, when I used to go to see him visit in the summer, I would take the Greyhound or the Trailway bus, right? Because I'm old enough now to go by myself. Not really, but I don't think things was dangerous. So I was still a young lad, right? And I would go, and how that impacted me, because my father was married, and then he had his wife. I thought that I was a little slow, right? That I was behind academically. And so when I would come there in the summer, she would have books for me to read, and she would have workbooks on English and on math for me to, you see what I mean? So it was very beneficial for me to leave that rural area and come every summer and get that extra push academically.
So did they have children together? your
Yeah,
father?
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I had a brother, which is deceased now, the younger brother, and then I have one brother that's still living, right? So and so what happened was that my father accepted, you know, loosely that I was his son until he had a second son, and we looked so much alike he couldn't deny it, my brother. You know, and so yeah, so that was a part of growing up, and so just to say that with those dynamics, those are some of the things that are destroying men today, right? Not knowing who their father is, not knowing the connection or having that type of a connection. My father was he was a complicated man. He enjoyed poetry. He enjoyed reading the Bible. He had me. I was in junior high reading Paradise Lost. Works like this. You know what I'm saying? So he was an intellectual, even though he worked as a welder at the steel mill. You see, we had a library in the house, right? So everybody want a man cave. No, forget the man cave. Return back to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah. My stepmother took me every week. We would go to the library, and we would get books. And I had to read 3 books a week, and she was reading 10 or 12. I don't know how she did it, but she was just. And what another interesting, my father got me a speed reading machine. Right. So consequently, to say that our relationship was good, right? Was good.
So after the summer, you fly back home. Were there any other like male role models that you were close to?
Important, yes, yeah, absolutely important. My mom, had the foresight to connect me with men. One man I should hang out a lot with was a preacher, and whenever I'll go to his house on Friday, and he would if he would have meetings that he was doing, he would take me. That's consequently I would have to put a suit on and stuff like that. I don't know. Can you see my? Let me show you this right here. See, no, that didn't come up. But anyway, you see my picture back there. That's why I'm such a dapper Dan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one. There was other guys that they taught me how to work. Right, my aunt's husband. He had rent houses and stuff like that. I used to have to cut the yards. I would have to scrape them and paint them. So every other year, I'm scraping and painting one of those houses. Right. So those were male role models. Now, my aunt, when I went in the Navy at 17, my aunt was like, why you always writing your uncle? He used to treat you like crap, just work you like whatever. I said, well, he taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to work with my own hand. And he never put a dime in my hand. All the money he would give me, he would give to my mother. I don't know how much I earned from him, but he would never. Yeah. So, and to my role model, then he worked at a job. He retired from the military. He was a photographer, so I was with him in his dark room developing. He did proms. He did the local newspaper. So it was a lot of great exposure. So there was one man. Then there was other men I was exposed to that killed hogs in the country. You see that's just a wonderful panoramic view of manhood, right? So I don't judge a man based upon status, like, okay, you the CEO. No. In my life, I've been able to deal with men that come out of the woods and men that come out of the office. Don't matter.
Outside of like being able to work hard, what's some of the, like, I guess the biggest lessons that you learned from those men?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Dr. Young. I think you young folks call them hacks. you know.
Hacks, yeah.
Right. What's some of the life hacks, right? Is number one, get a mentor, right? Yeah. So somebody thinks a mentor is somebody who wants to have your best interest at heart, that wants to see you do well. Yeah, true, but that's only half of a mentor. The other half is someone that has a financial interest in you doing well, right? So I had an uncle that, you know, we still have our land in Arkansas, and we used to cut trees down, and he'd take me out there, and he would cut these trees down, sell them to the paper mill, and make money. So he was my mentor, and he had a financial interest. If I come out there and work, I will make money, right? And he made money. So if you want a true mentor, this is somebody that wants you to do well, yes, but they must have a financial interest in you. That's why they'll take your call at 3 a.m., right? So what's the problem? What's going on, right? So those are the criteria I see for mentorship. Number one, get a mentor, and number two, you know, be around good people, right? There's still good people in this world, right? So spend your life with, you know, get mentors. I still have mentors today. Most of them are 80 and 86 years old. I got some great mentors, and around good people. Those want to see you do well, and service, give, right? It's not a we call them a hack. It's not a trick, but giving and service is more rewarding than anything else. I think since the pandemic, I have given 70 free financial workshops, right? And that's given. So those are the things that I say I have learned. Matter of fact, I do a Facebook Live every Friday at 9 a.m. And then I did one January the 7th was my 60th birthday. There was 5 things that I have learned at age 60, right? So yeah, so there's some things that we have definitely learned. Is this platform that you guys are created, and your interest and fathers, that's given, because this is, we got to reclaim our community, you know. So first we got to go reclaim our women, our children. Okay.
All right. What was one of the things you learned at age 60?
Yeah. Okay, good. The first one was to put God first, right? It's not as a platitude, but an actual attitude, right? Your spiritual life, your relationship with your creator should be number one, right? And everything else should flow from there. Put family second, right? So when I was working in corporate America, working 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week, God wasn't first, family wasn't first, it was me, right? Even though you say, oh, I'm taking this money and I'm taking care of my family in a royal way. No. I'm putting me first, right? So we have learned to put God first, put our family second, because you will lose your family, right? You will lose your children, right? You will lose your friends. Yeah? That's your value piece right there, right? So, and then put your job, your business third. And that means that whatever you decide to do professionally, let it be something that's holistic, that's helpful for the family and for the community. Don't be out there, not if you do it, whatever, but I won't be a tavern owner, right? My father had a tavern, but it's not a business I would get into, right? So whatever I do, I want it to be beneficial for myself, my family, my community. I want it to be holistic, right? Those are 3 things. The 4th thing is that discipline, right? It's to discipline yourself, right? The 5th thing is to read more. You know, I wish I would have read. I've been reading all of my life, right? I told you, my stepmother had me reading 3 books a week, right? And And we still read a lot, but I'm talking about read more. I got 8, 9, 10, 12 books just sitting there for me to read them, right? Read more, do more, give more, be more, right? Those are the 5 things that we have learned that's beneficial for our life. Because we, like everybody, we have lost a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have any book suggestions?
Yeah, absolutely. In any particular area, one of them, of course, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. One of them would be the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. One would be The Psychology of Money. One would be so many of them. Of course, the classics, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie.
That's
that's my favorite right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Uncle Dale
is the Richest Man in Babylon.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
These I can't because these guys that I kind of name these books. These are guys who have taken this information and really expand upon it, and so it applies to the modern world. But yeah, The Richest Man in Babylon is a good book. Earl Nightingale. Can't think of the book now, but it's all about so as a man thinketh, so is he, right? To get your thinking right. So books, the classics never go away, right? Those always will be good. As a matter of fact, I try to give my clients books, right? And so when I know what's his name, Dr. The doctor that was working with the Trump administration. He wrote 2 books, Gifted Hands,
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson, right? And so a lot of people don't even like what he stands for when since he went with Trump. But I'm telling you, those 2 books, I used to give those to young boys back in the day, right? Gifted Hands, and this other one, I can't think of the name of it. But these 2 books, he documented his life growing up in between Detroit and Chicago. His mom on welfare, his mom can't read, psyched him and his brother out to read 2 books a day and write 2 books reports, right? And so, yeah, great inspirational stories like those. But yeah, those was definitely some books that anything by Robin Sharma, he's on the next level. Anything by Tony Robbins, we've been reading and following him for about 20-some years, like 25, 27 years. These old cats, they still good. I'm talking about Og Mandingo, Jim Rohns, these a lot of this stuff on YouTube to listen to. So definitely listen, read, turn your car into a university when you're doing all that driving, commuting to work, yeah.
This is good. I wrote some of those down. Dr. Young, he puts a book of the day out in the group. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. No, that's good. I would I got a few. Here's another one. Tax-free wealth. Okay.
Tax-free. Who's the author?
Tom Wheelwright, CPA.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Robert Kiyosaki, CPA. So they giving up all of Trump's secrets. You buy this book, you text it where he tell you to text, it'll send you the 10 top things that came out of that Trump 2017 tax thing, right? And so yeah, no, books are it. Now the other book is my personal MBA, right? MyPersonalMBA.com is a book, My Personal MBA, where the guy said, you read my book, you don't have to go get an MBA. He'll tell you everything you need about business, and then he keeps a list online of the top business books to read, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, books, reading books, or definitely a way to create new ideas and new thoughts. It shifts me. One of the things that I was reading was be strong to be useful, right? Be strong to be useful. This concept was started by this guy in 1912, right? And it was, be as strong and physically fit as possible so that you can be useful. You can have the energy to serve and to participate in life, right? So just reading is great. I probably got So no, that's true. A lot of times when I do workshops, I do recommend a book. I mean, I do the same thing, Dr. Young. Yeah, get this.
Yeah, because they don't really teach a lot of that stuff in schools. I think they should have like a class designed for financial literacy.
Yeah.
In my experience, we just had like how to balance a checkbook, what's the definitions of like what a stock is, a stock market, and really deep dives into like how to really become financially independent.
Yeah, so we're keeping in contact. I'm gonna invite you guys to my next seminar. I'm doing seminars on Wednesday, lunch and learn. The next one will be how to understanding the intricacies of the financial institution, the life industry, the banking industry, and the investment banking industry, and understanding the intricacies of these businesses and their products, right? What products they sell and where they fit in your financial portfolio. And so a lot of people, they was like, wow, we should be teaching this in school. When I do some of these classes, I said, I have never prohibited you from bringing your kids to these workshops. They online. They you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They back there. I saw yours running around. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, they can come. I'm not, no profanity, no off-colored stories. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wholesome. It's a family show,
We'll bring the kids.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess like what would be like the biggest thing to know about building wealth? What would be like the first step in that process, in that journey?
No, great question. So I tell people all the time that there's two major impediments to building wealth. The first one is taxes. The more money you earn income, the more taxes you pay. 50 to 70% of our income is exposed to taxation. Income taxes, both state and federal, sales taxes, excise taxes, property taxes, business taxes, taxes. So if we looked at all those taxes, liability, 50 to 70% of your income, then you wonder, well, I'm making 100, I'm making 200. Why we're not moving forward? Well, let's look at your taxes, right? So now that's where we would start. If you sit down with a financial advisor and he don't start at this area, he's only interested in selling you products so he can make money. This is your number one concern, is taxes, right? So if you have a tax strategy that's moral, legal, and ethical, and how that you can now begin to shift that taxes back to your pocket, i.e. tax-free wealth. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's your biggest expense. It's more than living expense. It's more than food, clothing, shelter, transportation, right? So if someone come to you, and they don't talk about those things, that particular issue, I don't know why they're there. You mind if I, Dr. Young, you mind if I give the number 2 impediment to building wealth?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now number 2 is fees, excessive fees, right? Is that when you put your money to work with the money exchangers, right? Wall Street, they fee you to death, right? They're making more money on your money than you're making. So excessive fees or problem. Having bad credit is a fee because you're paying more in interest, right? So taxes and excessive fees are robbing us of creating significant wealth for our families and ourselves.
You know, that's interesting. I never thought about like your credit as a fee. Well, having bad credit as a fee, but it really is. Yeah.
It really is. And so JoshuaPondexter.com, we deal with all of these issues. I have seen, I had a mortgage company from 1999 to 2010, and I, see people that the interest rates were killing them, right? But I want the house, right? Well, let's just take a little time to get our credit profile together. No, I want that house. They said you can give me a loan at 580. No, it's better to get it at 720, 760. You know what I'm saying? Wait, right? But no, I got to get in that house. So yeah, that's killing. Even with car loans, right? So last car I purchased, I think my interest rate was 1.99%, right?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. You walk into the dealership. Well, no, I don't. Number one, you don't go in the dealership looking for money. You take your money to them. You get your money from your bank, right? They give you a check. So, Mr. Pondexter, here's 30, 40, 50, $80,000. Just go down there, get what you want, send us the paperwork, we'll write the check. Don't go down there to the dealership looking for money. Right. So yeah, those are it. Taxes and fees, robbing us of our wealth, right?
Well, just on this point, like a stick in.
Okay.
Can you put a money value on the difference between a 530 credit score and a 700 credit score when you're trying to get a home? And let's say the house is like 200,000.
580, right?
So how much is as far as like the interest? How much is that?
Like a payment?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. Let's see here.
Please hold while we calculate the numbers.
Right. So actually, I had just put this post up on Facebook a few days ago, right? So you're buying a $45,000 used car for 48 months, right? You have a 590 credit score. Your interest rate is going to be 15.27% APR. That means that your monthly payment is going to be $1,259. So, and there's some cats out here floating around in these big old cars paying $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah. Well, and so,
right. Now the same vehicle with a 730 credit score, your interest rate is 4.3%. So now that means that you're $1,000 a month, $1,020 monthly, right? So when total interest paid on that 590 is $15,413. The total interest paid on that other vehicle is $3,967. So you see that that's
you could have bought a whole nother car.
Not only could you buy a whole nother car, but when you guys get the book and share the book with your family and friends, tax-free living, you're not buying a car. You buy assets that pays for your stuff. Right? You can, for $45,000, you can buy a building and rehab it. And get $1,000 a month coming in, right? To pay for a car, right? So now it's a whole nother shift. We're gonna stop buying liabilities and start buying assets. And then we're gonna get our credit together. Our personal credit should be impeccable. Our business credit should be impeccable. Our bank credit should be impeccable. In all three areas of credit, that people that offer credit, we want to be impeccable with them, right? So yeah, credit it's a big thing. So now they ramped that over 48 months, and so now they'll give you a car loan for 10 years. So you can drive that $45,000 car and pay $600, $800 a month. They'll make it affordable for you, which is that's robbing those fees. You see that fee robbing you of your wealth, right? Yeah. That's
so you have your assets paid for your liabilities.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a shift that we have to get to. Okay. we got some more. We rocking and rolling, man. We gotta have a whole show here.
Yeah, well, we getting close to time. So if you had
Okay.
to give that advice that we were talking about earlier, if you had to give advice to any dad that's listening right now, what would that advice be?
Okay, great, good. So yeah, well, prepare before you come. Don't be reactionary. So before I came a father. I was in the Navy. I was a single man, and I read this book um, um, about fatherhood. Right? It was called the. I don't know if this book is still around. It's called The Man of Velvet and the Man of Steel. So you need to know when to be the one. So when I was, with my older sons, I was the man of steel, right? Not much the man of velvet, right? So you have to learn how to be both, right? So if you have to prepare. Don't be reactionary. Don't go say, okay, I want to go to college or I want to get a trade and go get a job, and I'll go get a girl. I get that girl pregnant, and now I'm a father, or I got to move out of this studio apartment and that's reactionary. Plan, right? So we're too reactionary. Start, if I was to give you some advice, plan, get some information, get some knowledge about fatherhood before you get on that journey, right? Get some information on being a leader, right? There's a lot of book. Once again, here's another one by Robin Sharma, the leader without a title. You don't need a title to be a leader, right? But if you're a father, you're a leader. So learn some leadership skills, right? Don't get in the thing and then go, oh, I got to figure it out, right? But before you make that most important step, do some research, do some reading, prepare yourself as much as possible, and then you'll go like, wow, I'm not really prepared, but I've got a little, I got a little information I can work with, right? That's what I would give to some younger men before you become fathers. Prepare. But if you found that you are a father and you unprepared, fear not. The library is open.
Joshua, that's great advice, man. I think I had 2 kids before I came to that realization. Like, this is real. I have to start planning some things out.
Yeah. And we're too reactionary. One workshop I do called goal setting to goal getting, right? So that stop being reactionary in our goals. So we was like, oh, looks like I'm doing okay. I got a big house, I got a wife, I got kids, I got a car. Ooh, just think if you would have did some planning on that, Yeah. That's the advice I would give to a young man before he became a father, or if you find yourself in those shoes now, right? Fear not. You can get her done. Okay.
Yeah. And one last question from myself, and really I already asked it to you. You already answered it. I want to read your response to the people.
Okay.
The question was, what does fatherhood mean to you?
Yes.
And Joshua, you had a real good, concise answer. It was really good. It says, it's a gift from our Creator.
Yes, absolutely. And it is, and it's so we can experience what it feels like, because he's our Father, our Heavenly Father. It's how he presents himself. So now we can actually understand what that means, and that he provides for us daily sunshine, rain, oxygen. You see what I'm saying? That's what. So we look at it. So we have a model to model, right? Modeling is another hack on life. Find someone to model. So if you have a spiritual life and you believe in your Heavenly Father, model him, right? So yeah, absolutely. It's a gift. It's an incredible gift for someone to call you Father. I remember my youngest son. We go somewhere and he would just be, that's my daddy. That's tell everybody, that's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that was a blessing. Yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I definitely appreciate your time and your story. You definitely have a unique story.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Young, did you have any other questions?
No other questions. That's I wanted to thank you as well. It's been an awesome interview. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate Sir Royce reaching out to me and not knowing anything about me, but thought I had something to share.
Oh
I
well,
can tell how dapper you were, man. I could tell you had a good story just by how dapper you were in your profile picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we sign out, can you let everybody know where they can get in contact with you or where they can listen to your classes?
Yeah, absolutely. Joshua Pondexter .com. That's my website. You want to get in contact with me. And then on all social media platforms is Joshua Pondexter. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Joshua Pondexter. As you might imagine, I like my name. And when you go, you will see my picture. I like my face too. So everywhere you see my face, you'll see my name, and you got the right one. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for this opportunity, young brothers.
Yeah, thank you. And Dr. Young, can we put this one in the Hall of Fame too, man? What you think, man? I think this is another Hall of
Yeah, for
Fame
sure.
episode,
For
man.
sure. What number you want, Joshua?
Yeah, what number
What's
did
your number?
you wear playing sports? Or did you
On
play
the back of
sports?
your jersey.
On the back of my jersey, let's see what I'm trying to think. I think it was a 3. Yeah.
There you go.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Prestigious co-host, Dr. Raheem Young, and also for our special guest, Joshua Pondexter. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for further announcements.